Yeah, so this side was I did it in honor of my first film. And okay, now you can see me. Alright, that's great. That's great. That's great. Not having enough light on my face. Alright. So arigatou gozaimasu. I am super happy about graduation, and as you've seen, I've just tried on my gown for the very first time, and I gotta say that I'm really happy about it. But now comes graduation, and it's been 4 years. I was doing film production at Multimedia University of Kenya, and it was a good course. You know, like in my high school, I only knew one other person who wanted to do film, and her name was Maggie, I remember, but she didn't end up doing film. And so when I went to campus, I've known that film in Kenya is hard, but when I went to campus, like, I met 80 other people just like me who were also looking for people out there who wanted to do film. So we did films that were incredible to me, and that just really changed my perspective about film in Kenya. And you know, knowing that there are people who are like out there doing films and making a living out of it, that's what I want to be doing. And I guess right now I'm feeling super anxious about it. I think the reason, sorry, I just feel like it's not a graduation hat if it doesn't have this. So I feel like the original reason I wanted to do this video was because of how half-baked I felt. Well, I still do feel half-baked, and that's because I still really haven't learned, I haven't learned the business of film. And sometimes I think, you know, it's all you. School is 20%. I think we were told this in high school. School is 20%, 80% is you the rest of the time. And as you can see behind me is like stuff from my first film. And I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy that, you know, I can say I'm a filmmaker, because for once, like, I wrote and directed a film. And well, that wasn't my first time, but I'm just saying, it's incredible to call yourself a filmmaker after having a film, you know? I feel really proud of how far I've come. As I was saying, the quote by Denzel Washington, progress, not perfection. I feel like I'm not at perfection, I'm so far from it, but I have progressed, and I don't have to say I'm ever gonna do a bachelor's again. Well, unless it's by choice now. Yeah. But now I can move on and I can do a master's, or I can start a business, or I can do anything. And I guess I'm not lost, I'm just trying to find myself. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess I have been reading a lot, and I have been allowing myself to get lost in my thoughts, which is interesting because I've never been able to do that. You know, since being a kid, I feel like I've always been overwhelmed with thoughts that have been put by other people, not in terms of like brainwashing or anything, but in terms of I had to think about my next assignment, my next homework. When I was in primary school, it was more like you need to pass and get into a good high school. So I read hard, got into high school. When I was in high school, it was like you need to work hard because you need an A. Oh, seriously. But yeah, whatever. It was a good school, and I got into university. And after university, it was more like, now you're here, you can do what you want, you can make films. But then I feel like I've gotten out, and now I don't know how I'm gonna sell those films, how I'm gonna do them. And I do not want to settle. You know, they say if you have something to fall back to, you will. Is it fall back on, fall back to? The thing about how people say, like, when you're 20, you're discovering yourself. I just feel like I am right in the middle. I was just going somewhere. I was just used to this little pond, you know, just chilling in the baby pool, and suddenly I've just been thrown in, no lifesaver, into the ocean. I only went for swimming lessons for like shallow end, and now I have to swim and paddle around and just, you know, go somewhere that I don't even know where it is. I feel like I had such a clear picture, especially when I was in high school. I remember I used to have books on books that I used to write, like short stories of like movies I want to do, and I used to have to watch them in my own mind, because in high school we didn't like have movies, or like our entertainment used to be watching soap operas and TV. So I had to write all that in my mind, and I feel like I was so stuck on having my goal when I was in that small place, which I would just wait to get out of. And after university was kind of open for me. It was a really nice place. I am really thankful that I went to a university that and I met incredible people there. And I guess another thing is, if I think about now where I am, it's really hard. I definitely don't want to settle. I can't afford to settle. I feel like if I settle 50 years on, not even 50 years, like in 5 years, I'm gonna meet some of my classmates who are really incredible, by the way. I'm gonna meet them, and they're gonna be the people who didn't settle, and they probably suffered for like, they hustled and suffered for like 4 years, and then they made a breakthrough. The moral of this is just to tell anyone who is out there and you're trying to understand why it is the way it is and how you have to go through this process. I would tell you that if you're in a situation where you could change the situation, change it. But if you're not, take it as it is. You know, that's how life is. It's just how you respond that affects how you live. If you take something and you think that you have a victim mentality and you keep saying, oh, the world has this against me. Remember, there are other people. I'm not going to say that there are other people who are worse off than you, which there are. But I won't say that. I'll say this, that you could have been in a worse situation. As much as you're saying you could have been in a better one, you could have been in a worse situation. So take it as it is and you go with it, because you'll look back at these hard times and remember that they have made you. And if everything was easy, like success wouldn't be something to celebrate. People know that they had to grind, they had to do everything to get there. And I feel like this is how I feel like this process is for me, because I have had to really struggle through a system I really disliked, doing stuff I really disliked doing, but at the end of the day, it was discipline and consistency that forced me to get to this point. I feel like if I could do 20 years in a system I didn't approve of, yeah, exactly, 20 whole years, since I am 22 and I've been going to school since I was 2 years old. 20 whole years I've been dedicated to the 844 system, and now that I am out and I have been able to strive, I am willing to suffer so much more for my goal that I want, that I need, that... So I hope that you're willing to do the same, and that you're willing to look at this positively and know that you could have been in a worse situation, but you're not. Exactly, you're where you are, and you can work hard from that point on. I had a really good friend. The first film I ever made in campus, my first film, I think it was in first year, second semester. My friend and I we were nominated for best student film category. So we were told we could go to Mombasa, and I remember just telling him that I'm gonna go, and he told me, yeah, wait for me, I'm gonna go too. So we ended up going. We had a great time, because we were, you know, when you're standing at the ocean, anything looks possible. You just feel like if an ocean like this could exist, I could do everything. And I remember we would talk about how, I don't remember us talking about anything serious, but I think it dawns on me now especially now that they're not here and they're not gonna graduate. I do hope that, you know, one day I'm gonna do great films, because I have to keep the memory alive for both of our dreams, you know. I'm still in the race. I don't know what happens after life. I'm sure he's doing something incredible on the other side, and I wish you luck in life, and I pray that you don't lose the fight. Yeah, just don't let people get into your head. In 10 years, we're not gonna be at the same place, but we're gonna look back and think, look how young they look, look how hopeful they look. And you're just gonna inspire yourself for another 10 years and keep inspiring yourself for the rest of your life and for the rest of your generations.